Hey Sagittarius, welcome to Aria Moon Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading for anyone with Sun, Moon, or Rising in Sagittarius. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, check your other placements. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we have taking risks. I'm going to move your Swords card off to the side. And kind of to clarify, this taking risk card is the Moon and the Ace of Swords. Okay. I would have to say, like, just right off, you can have a little bit of a sharp tongue at times. At least it can be read that way. Like, people can perceive you as having a sharp tongue at times. And I think that what this comes from is really just, you have an ability to really speak the truth, to speak your mind. It's like if something's on your mind, it's really difficult for you to not bring that into the light. And because you have this taking risks card, it's like, where some people might not be brave enough to say it, you'll kind of just say it. Like, you'll tell people like it is. And that's not to say that you like you feel the need to tell people off all the time or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, if there's a truth that needs to be spoken, if there's something that needs to get out in the open, you're going to be the one to say it. You're going to be the one that even has the idea to say it. So yeah, this kind of shows me there is an element of bravery here. There's something that kind of powers you that it almost throws you out there and puts you in situations that a lot of people would find uncomfortable. And you may find them uncomfortable at times too, but it's almost like not speaking the truth, not speaking your mind, and not like not getting to the bottom of things is more bothersome to you than being in an uncomfortable situation. So you'll put yourself out there. You will put yourself in uncomfortable situations in order to explore. I want to just say the truth, because I think for you, a lot of this comes back to the truth. So in order to explore the truth, you will put yourself in some uncomfortable situations. There's something fearless about this message. I think when it comes to finding the truth, seeking it out, and speaking on it, this is where you really excel. And I think that one thing that goes on with you is, like, once you know the truth about a situation, it's really hard for you to go back to your old ways of thinking. It's hard for you to fall back into old patterns that don't serve, like, the new paradigm. So, I think as these truths are revealed to you, you're someone who can implement these changes into your life. Not to say that it's easy for you, but it's just really difficult for you if you know that, like, something doesn't work anymore. Something is outdated. Maybe you've outgrown something, or you find something out about a person. It's hard for you to go back to the time when you didn't have that knowledge, or when you weren't able to implement it into your life, if that makes sense. And in a lot of ways, there's bravery in that too, because I think a lot of times we learn lessons, but we don't necessarily implement them, because the change that would have to be made because of the lesson that we learned is actually the scary part. But it looks to me like you might be somebody who kind of pushes yourself to implement, to learn, to grow, to kind of evolve. Like, when you have more information, you actually do something with it. Like, when you know better, you do better. So I think that's a huge part of your personality that Spirit is highlighting. Yeah, a state of ignorance isn't really like your comfortable place. I'm getting the feeling that you like to have more information than less. You like to be well informed about what's going on so you can make informed decisions. You like to be really upfront with what's going on, like really upfront with the truth of the matter, getting to the heart of it. I'm not even sure if you realize how much bravery that takes, because whenever I'm looking into someone's like personality traits, it's usually something that comes quite naturally to them. even if it's something that they struggle with, even the idea to operate in that way is something that comes naturally. So I feel like for a lot of you, this could be something that you don't realize takes a lot of bravery, because you might not understand how much people shy away from learning the truth. They shy away from the darker things sometimes. I think that you have enough courage to look in the dark places when it's necessary, so that you can resolve problems, so that you can clear things up. I think that you really, you excel at that, and you might not recognize that in yourself. So yeah, I'm seeing you as somebody who has a lot of guts when it comes to speaking up, and also when it comes to confronting your shadow and dealing with your shadow. And that is true in all aspects of life. I think that, see, there's two different ways I can go with this, because there is a part of me that's looking at this and thinking, you know, for a lot of people, you can be quite confronting. I think people who don't like to deal with the truth, or who don't want to work on their shadow, people who don't want to improve themselves, who don't have self-improvement as like a main goal in life, you might be a little bit confronting to those people. You could have even had disagreements, arguments, or little bumps in the road with people in your life when you wanted to speak up on a truth, or when you wanted to point out something that they weren't comfortable looking at. Because it just feels like, I guess this is a bit like holding a mirror up to someone in a way, and you kind of show them sides of themselves that they aren't willing to look at, that they might not be ready to look at. So yeah, I do think that there can be something that is inherently, like, that can inherently cause conflict with this way of operating, if you do tend to call things out. And that's not to say that these things don't need to be called out. These are the kind of things that need to be called out, things that need to be worked on and resolved. But people run from those things, and it's like you run toward them. I think that for a lot of you, this can be a lonely road to walk, because these are the types of situations where people tend to look the other way when there's a problem. They tend to run the other way when things get tough. But I feel like when things get tough, when the mess really hits the fan, that's kind of when you kick into gear. That's when you're willing to dig deep and to find out, find the solutions to the problem. Find the thing that maybe no one thought of, or maybe the thing that no one was brave enough to do. No one was brave enough to say. No one was brave enough to go there. And you'll be the person who was brave enough to go there. You're facing challenges head on, and that's something that's really coming through as a part of your personality that's crucial to this, or something that you're going to use. You're going to implement these abilities a lot in your life's purpose. So your purpose will definitely draw upon that bravery that you exhibit, and kind of this, like, I want to call it like a pioneer spirit. Like, you'll go the places that other people weren't willing to go. And that's just whatever that means to you, because that can be conversations that people aren't willing to have. That can be literal, like, you might have an adventurous side to you. So that could be literally like, everyone was afraid to walk down this path because it doesn't look like a lot of people have gone that way before. And I want to go that way. I want to check it out. So that could be like a part of your personality. You just want to check things out. You want to try things out. You want to see for yourself. And, yeah, I think somehow that kind of ties into your life's purpose. That actually could be a big part of your life's purpose by itself, because there is kind of an adventurous spirit. So there might be a lot of experiences that you are meant to have, and you kind of need your adventurous spirit to help fuel you and push you into these uncomfortable scenarios sometimes, because it's what you're meant to do in this lifetime. And your purpose may have a lot to do with paving new paths in some way. So there might be something that you want to create, or to pioneer. Like we were talking about the pioneer spirit, there might be something that you feel called to create that is it's new, or it's different in some way. So kind of your ability and in your natural inclination to venture into the areas that most people don't want to go is really crucial to your life's purpose and what you are here to experience and accomplish. So yes, let's get into some tarot. I think I'm going to move these off to the side and hope the camera doesn't freak out on me. Let's move one card back, get the camera to focus while I shuffle these cards. So let's look a little deeper at your life's purpose. Okay, let's see what we've got so far. Let me move that again. So we have the 5 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, ooh. We have a little bit of happy home vibes here. We've got the 4 of Wands. The Ace of Swords and Judgment. 5 of the deck, 4 of Swords. Lot of Swords energy. I'm going to put this up here. I want to pull your oracle cards, but yeah, this Ace of Swords is showing up again for you. So yes, this part of your personality that we were discussing, being maybe a little bit, maybe a little sharp in the tongue sometimes, maybe a little straightforward, maybe a little bit cutting, but it's always coming from a place of love, and it's coming from a place of truth with you. And the fact that that was highlighted as like a personality trait that was going to play into this, and then we have the Ace of Swords coming out, that's just confirmation that this part of you that wants to speak your truth, this part that wants to tell the truth. I think you're a very honest person. And some people can't appreciate that, because if they're a person who runs from the truth, you really confront them with your honest nature. So, but this part of you that wants to tell the truth is just so crucial to your overall purpose. Let's look at your oracle cards. So we have this Midas Miser card. So this card is entrepreneurial and creative ability to turn anything into gold, delight in sharing life's riches. We also have the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge. Insecurity and manipulation are some of the darker aspects of that card. Let's see about this. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe, the Royal You, and growth. Okay, I wish all of this was a little bit higher so that you could see the cards better. So, I love that you got this Midas card, because this card is really about having that Midas touch. It's about everything you touch turning to gold. So I think that you are here to experience some really great things. In some cases, maybe even something very lavish. You have the Royal You here. So there's like this lavish quality. There's this extravagant quality to your energy and to your purpose here. I'm just immediately drawn to the 3 of Cups right when I say that. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot to celebrate in your life. So I think that one of your major purposes here is to experience all the great things that life has to offer. And I think sometimes we don't give that enough credit. Like, I think that you are a person who's had a lot of experience, and this is even maybe going back into past lives. Some of you may have dealt with a lot in your childhood. And that could be where that energy is coming from. But others of you, it could be even more than that. It could go deeper than that. This could be challenges that you have been facing for lifetime. So these are past life wounds that I think in this life you are meant to heal from. You are meant to grow from. And there's an element of like you really experiencing some of the finer things this time, this lifetime. And it's like all the work that you've put in is really paying off. But I'm like immediately, again, I'm drawn to all of this swords energy that came through. And I think this has so much to do with these past experiences that I was just talking about. I think that you can see things for what they really are. You can see the truth at the base of everything, at the root of it. You can see the root cause. You can see what needs to be talked about. You can see what needs to be looked at, what needs to be brought out into the light. It's obvious to you, and not only is it obvious, but you'll actually speak up about it. So I think it's almost difficult for you to not do that because you have this experience. There is kind of this feeling of like an old soul coming through for you. You have so much experience that you are able to see things that people who haven't had quite that experience, they aren't able to see. Like you will point it out. You will shine a light on it. You shine a light in those dark places. And I think that's what was like really important about this moon card coming up. The things that are like hidden or things that people would rather keep hidden are the exact things that you'll kind of like pull out. You'll dig out, you'll highlight them. You will shine a light there. And this is really out of love. It's out of caring. It's out of a goal of healing. Yeah, these, you got some really powerful cards here. So, there is a feeling that your purpose is very unique and that it's been with you for a long time. So this life purpose might be a purpose that has sort of traveled with you through these past lives and into this current life now. And it's something that I think you are meant to fulfill this lifetime. And there's a lot about communication here. So there's a lot about sharing ideas and not only sharing them, but like knowledge is super important to you. Like, I don't know if I've pointed this out with all this swords energy and with this shadow queen energy, knowledge is very important. So, it could be that you are looking for that knowledge this lifetime, that you are going to be seeking out a lot of knowledge. So this could be actually how you spend your time. This could be an indication of how you will spend your time. You might be in some form of education or in some form of research. You might just have certain topics and certain interests that you can just dive right into, and they could have a lot to do with what your purpose is here on this earth. But also, I think that what's really being highlighted to me is that this lifetime is like a culmination of all of the knowledge that you have gathered in your past lives, and you're able to realize something very beautiful in this lifetime. I think this growth card is crucial here because it's showing that the amount of growth that you're going to be able to achieve in this life is so much more than you probably realize, and it's because you're able to put all of the knowledge together that you have gathered over lifetimes. So yes, this card here, the Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. There's something about this lifetime where it's like finally all the pieces are coming together. And the funny part is you might already notice that just with the experiences that you are aware of, that you have experienced in this lifetime. It could be that there are lessons that you learned as a child or as a young adult that you are starting to now be able to implement, or that you're going to notice you're able to implement. It might have all seemed like a puzzle to you. I think in a lot of ways it has seemed like a puzzle, and this is about putting those pieces together. So definitely during this lifetime, you're going to be able to put some of those pieces together and like close out and learn some of the lessons that may have been following you around for a long time. That feels kind of good. That feels kind of good to say that, because it feels like a relief. You have the Judgment card, and Judgment is all about clarity. It's about a final decision on something. It's about waking up. And you know what? It's really, this is a life purpose card, so it's super appropriate here, but it's really about waking up. So I think you're waking up to a lot of truth this lifetime, and it's one of your main purposes, to wake up to that truth, to acknowledge a lot of this truth, and to bring this truth to light for others too. I really do think that there's a huge element of communication that comes with this. It's not just you knowing these things, it's about you sharing these things as well. I feel like there's a part of you that almost struggled with the feeling that you were meant to do something great, or that there was something big waiting for you. I feel like you've been given the gift to really see the truth when no one else recognizes it. And you may have overlooked that as a big thing that you're here to do, as a really important thing that you have to offer people. I will say for some of you, because there's this theme of truth and of knowledge, there might be something that you have thought about pursuing that has to do with research, or has to do with some sort of investigation, or getting to the bottom of something. This could be a huge part of your purpose. It might be that you are a person who's very gifted at sifting through information and then kind of disseminating it. So that could be where that knowledge, that hunger for knowledge is coming from. But it does feel like in some way those around you are going to benefit from your thirst for knowledge, or your ability to really gather all the facts and to communicate those facts in a way that makes sense to other people. I think that this life is really about growing into yourself and about welcoming that expansion, just welcoming it with open arms and celebrating it. There's a feeling of walking away from a denial of who you truly are. So this could be a lesson that's kind of followed you from lifetime to lifetime. And this is a time when you are finally closing that door and you're just stepping fully into your true self. I'm really happy to see the Great Gathering here, though. It makes me smile because, like I was saying before, it feels like this journey could have been something that felt really isolating to you at times, because you are somebody who sees the truth. You're someone who's not afraid of the truth. And it can be hard for you to find people who can relate to that. So this card, it talks about soul tribe. It's an indication that you're being called to connect with those that you really resonate with at a soul level. So that's a really good sign that this won't be a lonely path for you forever. This will be something that, if you haven't found these people yet, you will definitely connect with people. And this is a huge part of your life's purpose, is reconnecting with these people. You have this Three of Cups here. This is all about celebration and gathering, and for me, really acknowledgement of who we are, like celebration of our individuality. Like I love this card because it makes me think of this really happy, safe place where everyone is celebrating uniqueness, celebrating special gifts, and I love that energy. So yes, if this has been a lonely path for you, don't despair, because it really seems like a huge part of what you're meant to do is to connect with people who are kind of on this level. And I don't mean that to sound like your level is above anyone else's level, but it's just a matter of frequency. Like, you're just meant to connect with people who are vibing with you on that frequency, and people who not only see the truth for themselves, because that'll be a welcome relief for you, but also people who are willing to discuss and to challenge things and to share ideas. So I think that's something that your soul craves, and that's something you're definitely going to fulfill in this lifetime. I feel like looking at this, I can kind of tell that it's been tempting for you at times to shut everyone out, because you kind of feel misunderstood and maybe even undervalued at times. So yeah, it's almost like sometimes it feels like it would be easier to just walk away from certain relationships in your life or certain connections, because you end up feeling alone anyway. And it seems to me like this is something that is meant to be healed and resolved in your life. You have this Four of Wands energy, which is beautiful energy. It's about being at home. It's about being valued and being celebrated. It's about friends and family and that closeness, and there's a lot of that here. So connection is a huge part of your life purpose. There's a lot of this idea of connection and celebration, and really such a clear message here with Judgment kind of capping the whole thing off. Such a clear message that this is related to your life's purpose, Judgment being the life purpose card. So that's really beautiful. I think that this has always been important to you. At your essence, at your heart, that deep connection has always been something that you wanted. Like, you wanted to be able to relate to people in this way. And this is something that will be fulfilled for you in this lifetime. This is something that you are going to experience. You're going to experience that deep connection. I think that for you, it's really about this knowledge. Like, knowledge and information are big for you in this lifetime. That's a huge part of your purpose here. Either to gather information, to reveal information to others, something about having knowledge. You recognize that knowledge is power. And I think that's why you're not really afraid to look in the dark to find the truth, because you know that in the end it will make you more powerful. Whereas other people, they have kind of a distorted perception about the truth. They sometimes think that confronting the truth will make them weaker, but that's not really the case, and you understand that, which is rare. I think in a lot of ways you are a keeper of information, and that you are here to kind of filter out higher truths and wisdom. So I'm not sure if you even realize where some of the knowledge that you have comes from, but it does feel like there's kind of a divine guidance at play here. And definitely an entrepreneurial spirit. So I'll just throw that in before we kind of wrap this up. I'll just throw in that your life purpose could have a lot to do with you branching out on your own and doing something that is a little bit, it's not that it's so different or off the beaten path. I don't really get that feeling. I actually get the feeling that it's just something that, something that no one's doing, or you're going to do something in a way that no one's doing it. So it doesn't even have to be like a reinvention of the wheel. It doesn't feel like. It feels like it's just that your creativity and the way that you view things is so unique that you might not be able to fit in a box. You might not want to fit in a box. So it wouldn't surprise me if you do have this entrepreneurial spirit about you. And I'm noticing here too that this card, the Royal You, is card number 16. And then we have the Shadow Queen, card number 16 as well. So definitely a repeating message to you. 16 may be a significant number to you. It could even maybe be your age, or the age that something really crucial happened in your life, and maybe your life purpose was revealed to you at that moment. But if we look at this in terms of numerology, we can reduce that down to a 7, and 7s are about discovery. So I think that paired with this idea of knowledge, there is there's something here. Your life's purpose really revolves around a lot of you gaining knowledge and you discovering a lot. And this can be a lot to do with self-discovery. This can be about discovering the truth. And I think this also might be that this is a really important lifetime for the evolution that your soul is going through, for that journey, because it kind of feels like this is a lifetime where you're able to put those pieces together, where you're able to discover why you learned the lessons that you did, how it all plays in, and who you truly are at a soul level, and get to a place where you can be celebrating that. I do think that you are meant to experience some really beautiful things because of this Midas card. I mean, along with some other things here too, like this Royal You card. But yeah, it's like whatever you do is going to be successful in this lifetime. Everything that you touch turns to gold. So there's a lot here. There's a lot here, and I think you're meant to do a lot. I think you're meant to share a lot. You're meant to enlighten those around you and kind of share this information that you've gained. So yeah, I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me read your cards. If you liked this reading, if it resonated with you, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. And I will hopefully see you again really soon in another reading. Bye.